Hi all, some exciting updates this week. First of all, welcome to decorative gourd season. In October, that's when Chicago is really like, okay, summer is done, because September at this point is mostly an extension of the summer. So it's always very exciting to hit October and start getting that fall feeling in the air. It's still relatively warm. I'm just wearing a little summer dress and I ran out errands earlier, but it will by the end of the month be full, fall, like coats, little hats, full power, full time as knitters, which I love. That's really where it comes in handy to be a knitter, but not so cold that you're like, oh, none of this matters. It's just freezing. The other thing that I did today was I got my little flu shot at the grocery store, so that was exciting. May or may not feel great about, my immune system and how it's reacting to that later, but it's good to be immunized and not to have to worry about that anymore. But it's also a very exciting I like October, but it's an exciting week is what I meant to say for updates on things that I finished. So previously I had spun up these breed and color studies from the Crafty Jacob collection that she does with Welford Pearls or Rachel Smith, and I finally took the second little batlings of those, or the second half of those little batlings, spun them up into singles and applied them. So here are the finished ones. They actually just took a bath about half an hour ago, so they're still a little damp. And then I was a little worried about these actually while I was spinning them up, because as I was applying I could see that they were definitely not as thick as my originals. So the originals, let's pull out a couple of strands, are kind of more of like a DK / worsted weight, whereas if you look at the new ones, I would say it's more of like a sport DK situation, and especially with my most troublesome one, it's almost more of a fingering. The white one I actually ended up running through my spinning wheel twice. I like a round yarn, which usually means I like a more tightly plied yarn, but I think running it through the spinning wheel twice also definitely needed a skinnier yarn, and I've never really done that before. I've never replied anything. So what I might actually do is I might take it back through the wheel again, but in this time take some of the twist out of the ply. I'm also noticing with these samples that actually they puffed up a lot more than I thought they would. I've always seen Jacob described as not a particularly type of wool that puffs up a lot when it hits water, but in my observation for these skeins that I just finished, they really did, and that was really good because it really kind of made it a yarn that I could see using in the same project, whereas before washing it was definitely like two very, very distinct yarns. So I'm going to take the white one through again. I'm going to let these finish drying. It's nice that the smaller skeins, dry up real fast. These went in the bath like half an hour ago tops, and they're already like sponge dry where they're wet but not sopping. So that was pretty exciting. The other thing that I finished this week, look how cute he is. This is a Susan B. Anderson, is I think the designer of this little dragon buddy, and this is something that I actually started in fall of 2020, realized I didn't have the safety eyes for, put that off for a while, got the safety eyes, and then just worked on it very slowly. I'm not a big toy knitter. I think this might be like the second toy I've ever knit, but it was educational because when I'm usually afraid to start a new thing, I'll procrastinate or delay a little bit, but actually doing this taught me that there was nothing to be afraid of. And typically there is nothing to be afraid of because it's knitting and spinning, and it's not life or death out here. And most of those things can be undone if you make a knitting mistake. So finally done with it, and it also gave me confidence that if I want to try the pattern again, it's not super hard and I won't feel that sort of hesitation of the unknown. The other exciting thing is that I'm done with the pink merino singles. Yes. I had to take them off the wheel using, I think it's called like Spin Solutions or something. I don't remember exactly what the tool is, but basically it allows you to put a tool in here that attaches to a drill bit, and then that allows you to go much faster than winding it off by hand, which I was not looking forward to doing. So pretty cheap investment, like $20 for both of those, So I'll be pretty pleased with those, and it's always good to have more storage bobbins as well. But I'm going to try to apply those tonight and try and get those done and then washed up probably within the next couple days. On my sweater front, I'm actually very pleased also to report on my Shay Johnson Homecoming Cardi that I'm done with the back. The back is completed. I've got the left front completed as well, which is really great. You do the fronts separately and then you sew together the bound off ends. So I just need to do the right front. And I was a little bit worried about this. You might notice this is a theme. That there was going to be something wrong or not fitting about this particular arm scythe, because I have never done a sweater in parts before. I've only ever done sweaters in the round that were either top down or bottom up, and that's a little easier to try on and to understand where the arms were going for me and how big they were, whereas something like this is, you know, separate, and then it's like, how big is this, especially since I've never done this before. But I did do a real quick just kind of holding together try on, wrapping it around myself, and I felt much better about the size of the armholes after that, so I was pretty pleased with that. And I'm going to now, instead of doing a quick like basting together, which is what I was initially thinking, I'm just going to knit up the right side and then sew them all together and see how that looks. So that's kind of everything I've been doing this week. And then next week, I'm going to keep knitting on the cardigan, and I'm also going to start spinning up this merino silk blend from Fiber Optics that I got at the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, I think 4 years ago. I don't know, time is difficult, but I'm very excited to get that started and to make it a gift for a friend of mine. So, it was great talking to you all this week, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye!